Beautiful sunny day on the 1st of May here in South Yorkshire in England, and I've got a brand new Trachycarpus fortunei. This guy came in a 3 litre pot, so he's in this huge pot. I'm not sure how many litres it is, but it's absolutely massive in comparison. So he's probably got a good 5 years growth there, and then once he's filled all this root space, we can just lift him up and fill from underneath, because there's probably a good third of this pot which is still empty. But yeah, brand new Trachycarpus fortunei. Now, I snapped a frond whilst I was driving, took a sharp turn, and unfortunately a frond snapped. Now, I didn't want to clip it off because well, it's not the lowest frond, so it would look quite weird and empty. My larger palms have had snapped fronds before, just over here, and they literally will stay green even if they're hanging on by a thread. So hopefully it grafts back together with the tire that I've put on. But yeah, brand new Trachycarpus in 2023. Now, this year I've lost quite a few tropical plants. The winter of 22 to 23 will be forever notorious in the tropical gardening community. I've lost the Canary Island date palm, a Brahea armata or Mexican blue palm. I've lost my sago palm slash Cycas revoluta, my seed grown lemon tree which I germinated in 2011 as a 15-year-old. Now I'm 27, that was quite gutting obviously, and so there's been a winter of losses. So I'm moving more towards UK proof plants, I guess, even though some of those I thought was completely hardy, to be honest. It turns out they wasn't, or mould would set in. So I'm going for more standard kind of UK weatherproof plants, and the Trachycarpus fortunei is one of them. One thing I will say is I can't believe how much they've shot up in price. This tiny thing was £20 in a small 3 litre pot. Absolutely insane. So the palm just over there, the smaller one, that was £20 when I first bought him, and he was probably about the size of these guys here. Probably not as thick on the trunk, but about that height. And I think it's absolutely crazy how much they've shot up in price with inflation and with COVID, or sorry, a post-COVID world. Everyone got into gardening in lockdown, and therefore prices went up with that as well. But yeah, looking forward to seeing how this guy does. He's replacing quite a few plants. We've lost loads of tropicals this year, and we lost quite a few trees in the tree nursery as well last year in the summer droughts slash hottest summer on record in the UK. So we've had some crazy weather, some crazy temperature fluctuations. So I'm just going to stick to more tough as old boots kind of plants, drought tolerant, cold tolerant, things that are going to last, and the Trachycarpus fortunei is one of them. He's got a very nice healthy new frond coming through, and a good healthy spear slash growth point just there. Now, he's been watered in and fed with a liquid seaweed feed, nitrozyme, and he's got absolutely years worth of soil here. It's a really big pot, and like I say, when he fills that with roots in the next 5 years, we can always raise him up to the top and fill in from below. So he's got a good 8 years in this pot, I'd say, with one kind of potting up within that pot, by which time he should be around the size of these 3 palms here, or maybe a little bit bigger. We have a Trachycarpus nova just here, who's being drowned out by perennials, and a couple of Trachycarpus fortuneis. So one day this guy will be as big as those. But if we just move over this way to a kind of jewel in the crown, this beautiful tropical bed here. Like I say, this guy was £20 when I got him, at the size of those other ones. It's crazy how much they've shot up in price. But here's the big boy, absolutely beautiful, and he is actually coming into flower. If we go around the corder line, there you go, Trachycarpus fortunei just about to flower. I'm very excited to see whether it's a male or a female, but yeah, he's not the star of the show today. Star is that new Trachycarpus palm. This little baby one over here, next to the Wollemi pines, and he's enjoying a little bit of dappled shade just there, slash sun. So I think he will really ramp away in this spots. Trackies do tend to do really well in the shade. These guys, these three here, get part shade, part sun, and their fronds are absolutely huge for their size. Whereas when, say, this first palm over here was their size, his leaves were a lot smaller because he's always been in full sun. One thing to add is that this is the first time I've grown a Trachycarpus fortunei Wagnerianus, and you can tell because the leaves are so stiff, and I've never had a trachy like this before. I didn't realise at first. Clearly the retailer clipped all the fronds anyway, but these fronds are really stiff. So it's actually Wagnerianus form, which is a cultivar. They grow much slower and have very stiff leaves, so yeah, that's something a bit different. I've only ever had Trachycarpus fortunei standard form, as well as Trachycarpus nova, so very cool.